Onions are a must-grow vegetable. Why? Well, where to begin? To start, onions are very easy to grow, and properly prepared bulbs will store reliably for up to 6 months. Like potatoes, there's something immensely satisfying about the weighty harvest you can get from even a small area. And as the starting point to so many recipes, there's every reason to grow more of your own. So let's not hang about. Here's our sowing to harvest guide to onions.
Onions come in traditional yellow and red, which are both great in the kitchen, but look out for white varieties too, which are often bigger, milder and great thinly sliced into salads. For an extensive list of varieties, check out our garden planner, where you can bring up a varieties box for every crop, including onions, and read through variety descriptions at your leisure. Drop some onions into your plan, then bring up the plant list to check the best sowing, planting and harvesting dates for your specific location. Onions love a sunny and open site in well-drained soil enriched with organic matter such as compost or well-rotted manure. If your soil is heavy and tends to remain overly wet, then grow onions in raised beds or mounds to improve drainage. For the earlier start, sow onion seeds into plug trays or pots of potting mix to transplant later as seedlings. This avoids the need for thinning out, encourages a more economical use of seed, and, given the protection of a greenhouse or cold frame, means sowing can start at least a month sooner in late winter. Fill trays with seed starting or general purpose potting mix, pressing it down into the cells for a solid fill. Sow a pinch of 4 to 8 seeds per cell, then cover with more potting mix to a depth of 1/4 to 1/2 inch or 1 centimetre. Water with a fine spray. Transplant the resulting seedlings while they're still quite small to avoid disturbing the delicate roots. Make holes into prepared ground, planting each clump of seedlings about 4 inches or 10 centimetres apart before firming in and watering. Direct sowings can commence in spring as soon as the soil's workable and has warmed up a little. Rake the soil level, then mark out seed drills about 1/2 inch or 1 centimetre deep and 1 foot or 30 centimetres apart. Sow the seeds very thinly, cover back over, then water along the rows to settle them in. Thin the seedlings in stages until they're about 2 inches or 5 centimetres apart for lots of smaller onions, or 4 inches or 10 centimetres apart for fewer but bigger bulbs. Covering early sowings or transplants with row cover or fleece helps to speed things along at the start of the season and may help reduce the tendency to bolt or flower, which makes bulbs too tough to eat. Some especially hardy varieties of onion may also be sown in late summer to sit through the winter and give an extra early crop next spring or early summer. In many regions, you may be able to buy onion transplants for immediate planting.
Another alternative is to plant sets. Sets are part-grown onions that are very easy to grow and save time sowing. On the downside, they don't store as well as onions grown from seed or transplants, and they carry a higher risk of bolting. There are, however, heat-treated varieties that are more resistant to bolting.
Nevertheless, sets are clear winners when it comes to convenience. Plant sets in mid-spring into prepared weed-free ground that's warmed up a little. Leave just the tips poking up from the ground and space them 2 to 4 inches or 5 to 10 centimetres apart, depending on the final size of bulb you're after. Some sets may also be planted in early autumn to give a harvest up to 2 months earlier next summer. Onions transplanted from module trays may be left as they are or thinned out once they've grown on to give bigger bulbs. You can enjoy the thinnings as green or spring onions. As shallow-rooted plants, onions must be kept watered in dry weather. Keep on top of weeds too, hoeing carefully between rows, then hand-weeding within the rows so as not to damage the roots. Harvest time is approaching once most of the leaves have bent down towards the ground. Bulbs will continue to swell over the next few weeks before colouring up nicely in time for harvest. When they're ready, lift them up with a fork or trowel, then move those destined for storing under cover to dry. Any form of cover from an airy shed to a greenhouse is ideal, or in warm, dry climates, simply leave the onions where they are on the soil surface. Space bulbs out so there's good airflow between them. Racks can help with this. This drying process, called curing, takes about 2 weeks and toughens up the outer skin of the onion so it will keep for longer. Store onions suspended in nets, tied into bundles, or weaved into beautiful onion strings like this. Onions should keep until at least midwinter and as long as spring.
Awesome onions! You've got to love them, but grow them yourself and you'll love them some more. Please do share your tips for growing onions in the comments section below and tell us how you start them off, whether that's by seeds, transplants or sets. We'd love to hear your experiences. Thanks for stopping by today, but before you head off, please do click that subscribe button. With the growing season nearing, we don't want you to miss out on any of the fantastic videos we've got lined up. I'll catch you next time.